the game is clear. He's a champ when all else disappears. Rally the team with a wink and a cheer. He's the leader that everyone fears. Quickly, it's a real heater. One more friend, he's a locker room leader. In the chaos, he's the center, turning us into believers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday night. It is 7 p.m. And you know that can only mean one thing. It is time for the Locker Room Breakdown as we get ready for Monday Night Raw and the Raw Patrol here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program and at Turnbuckle Studios. I am OM Dynamic. I am here to break down everything that happened last week, everything that is going to happen tonight. This is going to be very, very intriguing. Last week, we were promised an epic Monday Night Raw coming off of what was an underwhelming Survivor Series. Where to begin? I mean, we had some good matches listed. Was it as epic as everybody thought it was going to be, or we were led to believe? Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to hear your thoughts as well. So to open the show, we had, to open the show, we had Rhea Ripley and Io Sky come out and cut a promo and challenge the Kabuki Warriors, only to then be interrupted by Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. It was a very respectful promo, as Charlotte and Alexa did not come out in their gear, dressed and ready to fight. But Charlotte and Alexa said they wanted their rematch, so team of Rio, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, had to go to the back of the line. But all four of those women were on the winning team at Survivor Series. What was going to happen? There were no fists thrown, nothing flying, nothing like that. This was a very, very respectful promo. I will give them that. But it really didn't do a whole lot for me, other than, okay, it gave us the matchup of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky later in the night to take on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Nothing overly spectacular. This was what we saw, and it left us questioning, okay, are we going to then see Nia and Lash? We know that Bayley and Lyra want to get into the women's tag team title picture. You've got the Kabuki Warriors. You've got all of this stuff going on. What did it really, really do? It just put two teams battling for a contention spot. And both teams deserve the title match, quite frankly. But this didn't do a whole lot for me. But then we went backstage and we saw Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker waiting outside Adam Pearce's office, saying, look, Bron Breakker beat CM Punk at Survivor Series inside War Games. And it's true, Bron Breakker was the one that pinned CM Punk after CM Punk ate the stomp from the Mystery Man and then a spear. And we got a title match made for January 5th. So the first Raw of the new year, Monday night, January 5th. It also happens to be the 1-year anniversary show of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So we are going to get Bron Breakker versus CM Punk that night. And I like it because now you're giving it time to build something towards that. I think a guy like Bronson Reed should maybe be a little bit more in that position just because he's got the victories over Roman Reigns. He's been the one that has been competing, whereas Braun Breaker has been more of the enforcer for the vision. But I like the build that they can do for this now because you do have just about a month to build to this match. Are we going to get a verbal tirade tonight? We will find out later on, and we will cover that when we cover the preview portion of the show. The Last Time Is Now tournament. We had the semifinal matches to determine who was going to determine the last two who had the chance to face John Cena on Saturday night's main event. Jey Uso versus L.A. Knight. This had the potential to really blow the roof off. This should have probably been your main event match of the night. You had the megastar, the man they call the megastar in L.A. Knight. Yeah. Going up against main event Jey Uso, the man who has captivated the crowd for the better part of the last year and a half. And instead we got a short match and LA Knight winning by a crucifix roll-up. Really? Really, WWE, that's what you have to do. This match could have gone so many different ways, and that is how you had to do it. I got to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to say I was disappointed in the match. I was disappointed in the ending. It also wasn't long enough for what should have been a semi-final match. LA Knight was coming in fresh because Jey Uso had just competed inside War Games. You could have capitalized on Jey being beaten up, broken down a little bit. It didn't have to be a squash match. I was okay with LA Knight winning. It was how they did the pinfall. Mr. Best, good to see you, my friend. He's coming in saying you got to look at the bigger picture with that match. There's something in Jey's mind that's bugging him. We know that. He has said that. He's got so many people in his ears, in Jimmy, in Roman, in Punk, all of that going on. And he's confused. Right now, he is living out Randy Orton's theme music. He's got the voices in his head. I just don't agree with the ending and the way they booked that ending. I didn't like it. And the match really should have been probably 5 minutes more. And you could have gotten a whole lot more out. You could have had them battling, both of them get back in the ring at the count of 9 for LA Knight to hit the BFT as Jey's getting up. That would have been a far better finish. You could have had Jey Uso trying to come off the top rope. Jey Uso go for the super kick for LA Knight to duck. Both of them you can hit the BFT out of. Those would have been far better finishes than the one we got. Afterwards, we went backstage, and again, we had Asuka going face-to-face with Bayley, and then blaming Bayley for her team losing at Survivor Series because Bayley wasn't on the team. Which really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. At the same time, I get it. But Bayley and Asuka, they have that history from Damage Control. Bayley, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky. But Bailey had absolutely nothing to do with Survivor Series. And you know what? The parts on the babyface team and on the heel team could have been interchangeable. You could have turned Bailey heel, put her on the heel team. You could have done the same with Lyra. It was just a confusing point to make, because Bailey was nowhere near being involved. Why are you going to blame her? These games from Asuka are really, really telling me more and more why I really want her to retire and go home. She's not that good in the ring, ladies and gentlemen. These games that she's playing in the back, it's just... And I know it's not necessarily Asuka's fault, but this is just sheer stupidity on the part of the creative in WWE. But yes, again, I'm going to say it. Asuka, please, just retire. We did then have the Dominic Mysterio promo. Although he didn't cut too long of a promo, he came out. It was the Judgment Day in full force. Dom, Finn, JD, Raquel, and Roxanne. Dom then took the time to reintroduce Liv Morgan to the WWE Universe, and she received a massive pop. Again, the promo didn't do a whole lot, but it did send the mission statement for the Judgment Day. Liv got into it saying the Judgment Day doesn't have the gold. The Judgment Day is breaking up. That all changes now. The Judgment Day is back to running Monday Night Raw. And again, there was a lot more on that to unpack a little bit later last week on Raw. This promo, although it didn't do a lot, it was a clear mission statement, a clear message, the Judgment Day manifesto. And does Liv Morgan get the Judgment Day back on track, or do we keep going down this same rabbit hole with them? Another match that should have been match of the night and was definitely get up there. It was a step up from what we got with Jey Uso and LA Knight. We had the World Tag Team Championships on the line as AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. And yes, I almost said it again, ladies and gentlemen. I almost called them AJ Lee. They defended the tag team titles against the New Day. Now, the New Day in the tag team title picture, not something I really needed or wanted to see. I'm just not that impressed. The New Day heel run has really fallen flat for me. And we need something more out of them. Whether you're going to pitch them as singles wrestlers. Can we get a belt, though, on Grayson Waller and maybe have him become the leader of the New Day? There's a thought, WWE. There's a thought, creative. Put Grayson Waller front and center as the mouthpiece for the New Day. Give him a belt and have him do it the way they did it back then. Yes, they used the Freebird rule for the tag team titles. But when Kofi or Big E had the title, it was always deferred. It was the same with the Shield. For a long time, Dean Ambrose looked like he was the leader. Then it was Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns was never considered to really be that guy. But ladies and gentlemen, this match, and I'm going to give this match a lot more credit because it really did surprise me. The New Day really did show their tag team expertise and really, really made this match look good. AJ Styles, the veteran that he is, Dragon Lee, the veteran that he is, you cannot ask anything more of these four men. And the finish. This was a thing of beauty. Dragon Lee, or AJ Styles, laid Kofi Kingston on the top rope. Dragon Lee came off with the stomp, flipping Kofi Kingston into AJ Styles' waiting arms, and AJ is able to set up the Styles Clash. Right after, Dragon Lee goes and does a torpe over the top rope to take out Grayson Waller and Xavier Woods on the commentary side of the ring. Fantastic finish. That is the type of finish that we need. I love it. It's innovative. It's flashy. It's not necessarily a top rope move, but it was set up that way. It was technical. This match was a great match all around. Both sides, all four veterans, really showing why they are four of the best. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this was Grayson Waller taking cheap shots that he didn't need to take. Yes, he's on the outside. He's part of the New Day. He hadn't gotten physically involved at all. He hadn't even tried to provide a distraction in the match. And yet you've got him eating these bumps on the floor, and yet we can't get a Grayson Waller match in the ring? Come on. Again, WWE, do better. Grayson Waller should be a top-tier talent challenging for the Intercontinental or the U.S. Championship if you were to move him to SmackDown. Not being cannon fodder and being stuck in this sitcom role that he is as the outsider of the New Day. Then we get the vignette that everybody is talking about. Perhaps the biggest highlight from Raw. And for me, it carried on a little bit too long. We saw Maxine training in the ring, their new female women's Intercontinental Champion, Maxine Dupree. Training, it showed her with different competitors, male and female, in the ring. At one point, she did tap, but then you could hear her say again, and you get Natty turning around, wearing the gear she wears, her Low-Key Legend gear when she goes to AAA or when she's been to Bloodsport, stuff like that. And that's the Natty that we have been crying for quite some time, ladies and gentlemen. Really, since she started doing Bloodsport and we watched that, that is the Natty we want to see. Give her a little bit of attitude. Let her show off that aggressive killer instinct side. Let Natty be a heart, please. But like I said, and I know they waited towards the end of this, and yes, it did make it worthwhile, but the segment, this vignette, ran for about 30 seconds too long. Mr. Best saying he gets a feeling Natty will turn on Maxine. I see where you're coming from. I appreciate that opinion. But they were just starting to build a tag team, even though we never got to see the Dungeon Dolls in action. I'm going to say this. I think once Natty loses the Women's Intercontinental Championship, you're going to see her and Natty start to assert some tag team dominance, get to that tag team championship match, and that's where you get the Natty heel turn, especially if they lose. I don't want to see Natty turning on Maxine just for the sake of a heel turn at this point in the game. I want to see them build her, because maybe this is a testament to why I've said Maxine is the most improved women's wrestler since Liv Morgan. Is stuff like this. I never said Natty won the title, Mr. Best. So, all right. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I have lost my train of thought here on this topic now. But I do think that we need to get the Dungeon Dolls in action. We then did see Liv Morgan come up to Stephanie Vicaire in the back, stare her down and say, basically, you've got my championship. I'm coming for it. She did congratulate her, but yes, that's where we're going to go. Then we had the Vision come out. Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker came out. And this was Braun Breaker took over this promo. Even though he's his nephew, can we just say Scott Steiner Jr., please? This promo was not as great as it should have been. Yes, it was intense, but Braun Breaker tripped over his words numerous times. Numerous times. But that was when he announced that he was going to get that title match on January 5th on Netflix. And Braun Breaker coming out here saying, oh, good on you for, or calling out Punk for his comments of good on you for being at WrestleMania, blah, 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 blah. Let's see if you can cut a promo with the big boys. Well, consider it cut. All it was Braun Breaker screaming and sounding like his uncle, but even a little bit more out there. Now, it wasn't the Steiner Math segment, but Braun Breaker, tone it down. If you were that intense on the promo, maybe work with Paul on cutting a promo. Let Paul do the talking for you. Or learn to talk just a little bit quieter. Maybe become more like a Jake Roberts instead of all intensity all the time. You're not Goldberg. You are definitely your uncle's nephew. You are definitely your father's son. But please get some help on the promo work, Braun. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, back to the Last Time Is Now tournament. And what ended up being the absolute match of the night. And who would have thought it? Solo Sikoa and Gunther, the winner to face L.A. Knight last Friday on SmackDown. And ladies and gentlemen, both of these men absolutely brought it. This was as hard-hitting and as physical an affair as we could have asked for. This match delivered so much more than Jay and L.A. Knight. There were so many times I thought Solo was going to win it. We didn't see Talatonga get involved, even though he was at ringside, because there is no issues between the MFTs and Gunther. Now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Gunther won, and for that, I'm a little bit disappointed. I was, but at the same time, Solo didn't need the victory because they're trying to establish the MFTs. So Solo didn't need the victory. He's had his opportunities with John Cena. He's had his opportunities with Cody Rhodes. He doesn't need it. I'm okay with Gunther winning this and then facing LA Knight on SmackDown. I didn't want Gunther winning the tournament, but again, we will get to that a little bit later. This, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, as hard-hitting, as physical and fair as we could have asked for. We did then get a face-to-face between LA Knight and Gunther in the center of the ring. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this was the match of the night. Best of Solo's career. And then we had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee again on our screens going to Adam Pearce saying, we want to defend the tag team titles again tonight against another team who is deserving. And AJ Styles and Dragon Lee have offered the opportunity to the War Raiders, but we will get into that in just a few minutes' time. Our main event of the night. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. This match, again, the women just bring it, ladies and gentlemen. And these four, you cannot, again, ask anything more of these four women. This was an amazing match. The power of Rhea Ripley, the agility of Io Sky, the cunning of Alexa Bliss, the experience and technical prowess of Charlotte Flair. This match had it all. And whether they were pounding the snot out of each other or, going back and forth, this match at times did feel like a bit of a cluster bomb. And it was the team of, it wound up becoming a double disqualification. That's right. Coming out of a broken pinfall when the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Io Sky, stormed the ring and laid out all four women for then Bayley and Lyra to come out. And then the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez all came out and they laid waste to everybody. At the end of this, and this was perhaps the moment of the night, Roxanne Perez, holding the Women's Tag Team Championship, looked at Liv, gave it to her to try and smooth anything over, and Liv gave her the Tag Team Championship back, got in between her and Raquel, and raised their hands and said, this is where it starts. The Judgment Day is back. So where do we go from here with this? Are we going to get the Judgment Day versus Bayley and Lyra tonight? And I would be all for it. Do Charlotte and Alexa show up? Do the Kabuki Warriors get in their faces? Ladies and gentlemen, the Women's Tag Team Championships are the hottest titles in WWE at the current time. And I couldn't be more excited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go to the preview. But before that, take a good look at some of the programming we have going on here each and every night of the week.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
A Turnbuckle Affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at carlcarafel.redbubble.com.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever wanted your break in podcasting, content creation, a potential collaboration, or just help us out behind the scenes, turnbucklestudios.org is the place to be for all your Turnbuckle Affiliation Program needs. Meet the team: Chris Parrish, Chris Best, Bubba Duke, Carl Carafel, and myself. Go to the host section. Get all of our socials there, and as well, watch our latest weekly episodic shows, including this one, which will be up in just a little while. Hit the shop button to go to carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Support your favorite podcasters, support your favorite programs, wear what we wear. All the proceeds come back into our studios so that we can deliver you a better viewing experience. And ladies and gentlemen, smash that join button. Send us your credentials. Tell us how you can help us, how you feel we can help you. And we can sit down as a collective and figure out the best fit. Turnbucklestudios.org, ladies and gentlemen, for all your Turnbuckle Affiliation Program needs. On to tonight's show. And I mentioned it a little while ago. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee will defend the tag team championships against the War Raiders, the team that lost them to the Judgment Day and never got their rematch because the Judgment Day just didn't defend the tag team titles. Do I expect AJ and Dragon Lee to lose? No. I think that now we might start seeing some of these teams that have been off of TV for a while start getting these opportunities. If there is a team that I want to see win those tag team titles and get that opportunity to really get themselves back on TV, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Creed brothers. I would much rather see Julius and Brutus get their first opportunity to carry that gold and be that tag team to dethrone AJ and Dragon. Now, it wouldn't surprise me with Liv Morgan back if we go back to the Judgment Day really ruling the roost and getting all the gold. Is it something I want to see? Not necessarily. Do I think that it's a way to maybe get JD or Finn a singles title and maybe get one of them out there, whether it's Finn, whether it's JD, whether it's Dom? But I'm looking forward to this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Again, should be a hard-hitting physical affair. A lot of respect behind this match. And with AJ and Dragon stepping up saying, no, we want to defend it. We want to give these teams that are worthy the opportunity. I cannot wait to see what this match has in store. Do I expect this to be the match of the night? No. I expect it to be one of the better matches of the night. Absolutely. Then we are going to get Rey Mysterio and Finn Balor. The guys and I, we were discussing this the other night off stream. And I really don't need this match. It's going to be a fantastic match, but this is, again, the Rey Mysterio Dom dynamic that I just don't need unless there is going to be a payoff sooner than later for it. And this is just Rey Mysterio, and who knows if the LWO is even still a thing. Do we get them coming out to assist Rey? This is just not something I need, but give me Finn Balor due to a lot of interference and shenanigans to win. Okay, I asked earlier about a women's tag team match. Do we get Bayley and Lyra versus Raquel and Roxanne? We do not, but we do get two of those four women going one-on-one. And those two women, who have already had a couple of classic matches this year, are going to probably absolutely steal the show tonight. I'm going to call this one right now probably my match of the night. And by the end of 2026, both of these women will be women's world heavyweight champions. Lyra Valkyria one-on-one with Roxanne Perez. Ladies and gentlemen, sign me up for this match each and every night of the week, please. This is a match that, no, I don't want to see it 52 weeks in a row. Okay? But, you put enough distance and time between them. I love it. I am here for it. Like I said, this is probably going to steal the show. Or is Stephanie Vaquer going to be there? We know that Raquel and Liv will be there. Will Bayley be there? Or is this where we get the Bayley turn or the Lyra turn? There is a lot to unpack with this match, ladies and gentlemen, and I think that this match is absolutely going to steal the show. This is our match of the night tonight. The winner of the Last Time Is Now tournament is coming out to address John Cena. That match, the finals happened on SmackDown. It was Gunther versus LA Knight, with Gunther coming out on top. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I've said it before, I do not need or didn't need or want Gunther to win the tournament, just because I don't want him becoming that legend retirer, so to speak. But we are going to hear from Gunther tonight. The question is, do we hear from John Cena? Does John Cena add an extra date and show up tonight before Saturday night's main event this coming Saturday night? Programming note on that: Saturday night gaming for Chris Best will be Saturday afternoon gaming, as there will be a PLE patrol with Chris Best, myself, and I do believe Carl Carafel will be joining. We are also going to see and probably hear from Stephanie Vaquer, and I'm sure she's going to address Liv Morgan. I wouldn't be surprised to see that matchup get made sooner, though I'd like to see Liv get back in the ring one-on-one with somebody first. As well, ladies and gentlemen, we saw a couple of big announcements on Friday night as it pertains to Saturday night's main event. as we found out that Cody will go one-on-one with Obafemi, your NXT champion. Bayley will go one-on-one with Sol Ruka. What other matches do get made tonight for Saturday night's main event featuring Raw and NXT? Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up here for us at the Locker Room Breakdown tonight. We look forward to seeing you over at the Turnbuckle Studios YouTube page, on Twitch, for the Raw Patrol. Ladies and gentlemen, always remember, the world is better with you in it. From all of us here at the Locker Room Breakdown and Turnbuckle Studios, to those of you out there wherever you are, good night, good luck. I'm out.
In the locker room, a guy you'll find loves bad hockey, teams can't deny. His best friend is just a hand so true, loyal until his friend goes number 2. During the heat of the game, it's clear he's a champ when all else disappears. Rally the team with a wink and a cheer. He's the leader that everyone fears.